help you?
Yeah. Hey. Hello, everybody. So, hey, Devon. Hey, Alex. So, I know I just got off live like a little bit ago and I look completely different. That's because I am going to do my official review of The Assistant. I wanted to give y'all a little bit of costumey look as I do it. So I'm sending out my invites to everybody, let everybody know in the room, especially to the cast of the assistant, so we can, let them in here and let them know what I think of this incredible body of work. And hopefully we can get a couple of them to come on and talk about, the role, and we can get Alex on here to tell us some secrets. All right, so if you did not get a chance to go to the actual website and download and stream it, if you did not do that, what you would have missed was the previews. Alex did something really dope. He had all of the projects that the cast is working on. He played that as the previews. So he played a clip of Tremill's video, other shows and things that the other people that are in. So that was really, really dope. Rondell, can you turn it down for me? Thank you. So that was a piece that I thought was extremely dope. Now, the movie is based around the main character, Reese, which is played by V. Lamar. He was here a couple weeks ago. He is a young man who he is a young man that is coming to he's starting over. He's starting over. He just split from his boyfriend, is during COVID. So I love the fact that they incorporated what's going on in real time. So it's during COVID. So he starts to do online classes. There is where we meet the other three main cast members, which is, where am I at? Which is Trevor, played by Rara, Vigorous, which is Danny, and Zeke, which is played by Carl. So another major component of this show is Chase, which is the actual assistant. How we all have our Google devices and different things. That is Chase. And Chase is actually, I told you I had to get costuming. Chase is actually played by Ike. So he's the voice of the assistant, which is Chase. So, of course, we start off early in the day. Reese gets up, stretches, gets about doing his business. Then he actually starts class. This is where we meet the other three characters I was talking about. The first class is actually Professor Owen's class, and the topic they talk about that day is misdirection. Funny thing, interesting thing, Mr. Owens is actually the co-writer of The Assistant, which is Orlando Love. So that's a little tidbit. So one thing that I found funny about the classes is that the actual killer is taking classes and learning about basically how to get away with it. So I just found that really, really funny. And another cute little fact is that Alex's siblings is in the movie. So they're the other classmates in The Assistant. So that I actually found really, really cute. So after class is over, they're still on their Zoom call, and that's when Trevor invites Reese to join them. And of course, here goes Zeke being all extra, no new friends. He all being all a little bitch about it. Sorry, Zeke was a little bitchy. But, they extended the invite anyway. And afterwards, we link up to, Reese like, maybe I should go. So he tells his assistant, to text Trevor, drop the location. The assistant never does it. So this is where things starts to get interesting. So at this point, we see the assistant taking on the role of, we take in more of the role of, should we say obsessive, possessive, and keeping him isolated. So of course Reese was all in his feelings because he felt like, they basically played him. You invited me over. I told you that I'd go. Drop the location. You didn't go. So this is things get interesting. After he felt jaded, he hooked up with the other lover. Yeah, Chase is the other lover. He hooked up with this guy, Ryan. So Ryan was his first date. Let me tell you about Ryan. Ryan is a straight, he ain't shit. I don't even care that he got taken out the way he did. After he figured out he wasn't going to get none, he decides to go snooping around the house for something to steal. That's when he came up missing.
Ryan?
How may I help you?
Chase, stop.
Are you sure?
Chase, volume 3.
Volume 10. How may I help you?
What's wrong with Chase?
Day 2, we get back to class. Reese all in his feelings. He in his feelings. Y'all, you wanted me to come out. You didn't text me back. Blase, blase, blase. Now, this is the class. This is Professor Lee's class. Professor Lee is played by the one and only Imani Van Sack. So, they get to the class. That's Danny's favorite subject. So they get to talking about that. And afterwards, Trevor stays on with Reese and says, hey, let me come over. That was his plan, to feel him out, to see what type of person he was before he bring him in the clique. Well, things go all the way wrong. They come over, they cooking, they hanging, they doing, they're not doing the do, but they're hanging. Chase blocked that so good.
Chase,
How may I help you?
do we need asparagus or just more sauce? I can't do it.
I'm sorry. I cannot help with that.
Chase.
How may I help you?
Let's eat. I just gotta run to the bathroom.
Trevor ends up dead. Trevor was the most innocent person of all. Trevor ended up dead. As soon as he left the house, he got in a car crash. His brakes went out. Go figure. Okay, I'm on phone. So, sorry about that. Go figure. So, of course. Oh, hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. Y'all keep in mind, this is my first official review of anything. So, I'm a little nervous. So, after, Chase made Trevor crash. Yes, Chase was, let me tell you, Chase is the ultimate hater. Chase made me rethink about having all these devices in my house. Afterwards, the guys call Reese like, hey, have you heard from Trevor? Trevor was supposed to be calling us. What happened? As they're actually on the call, That's when Zeke gets the call that says, "Hey, Trevor's dead." So here come they nosy asses. Here they come. Yes, Trevor was cool. It was sad the way he went out. Yes, Trevor was the most innocent one. Trevor just, he just wanted to bring him in. So they start digging. Yes, after his booty call. I'm gonna get to the booty call. I want to get to the meat of it. So after they start digging, they figured out. They reached out to Patrick because Patrick was actually calling Reese. Patrick is actually the brother of his ex-boyfriend and all that. So that's who that was. Let's not forget the one night stand. Oh, I'm not gonna forget the one night stand. That's Lyle. That's played by Rico Cassadine. Yeah, the movie was really good. So as we're getting to it, that's when they start playing Inspector Gadget. They got a hold of Patrick, which is his ex-boyfriend, his brother. Zeke and Patrick are talking, and Danny decides to do a pop-up at the house. Now, this is where this is where it got me. If I'm unsure about you and we think you done did some suspect shit, why are y'all going to the house? Danny ass go in the house. Reese ass covered in the damn, cowered in the kitchen talking about some, come here. It's somebody in the house. Bam. No more Danny. So what does Zeke and Patrick do? Decide to go in the damn house. Why? Why are we going in the house? I was totally confused by that. But they went in the house. Long story short, as the Patrick went up the stairs, he ended up dead. He goes up the stairs. Reese, it's Patrick. I understand, but why are we talking to a man? But we don't know. We don't know who doing what. All I know is if everybody went up the stairs and everybody comes up missing who goes in this house, I'm not going up the stairs. So Zeke is like all of us. Zeke is like, I'm not going up them stairs. Zeke sits his ass on the couch with his phone. After Patrick goes silent, no Danny, no Reese, Zeke goes up the stairs. Why? I heard that at the premiere, when somebody said, why would you go up the stairs, Carl yelled back because bitch was in the movie. I was so mad he went up them stairs. I thought that he was going to be like, no, I'm not going up them stairs. Let me exit stage right. He goes up the damn stairs.
Ooh. This looks like some I know what you did last summer type shit.
Really?
Reese, Danny, y'all come on, cause I ain't coming up to find y'all.
Reese? Reese?
Ooh, child. You go ahead. Let me know if you see somebody up there. Okay. No wonder ain't nobody answering this spotty service in here. What, he got a blocker in there? All right, go ahead.
And bam, this is when everything flips. Because it was a part in the movie where, should I give spoilers? Well, the movie has been out almost a month. I don't know. Do I want to give spoilers? We find out who the killer is, y'all. Alex, if you in here, I'm going to pull you in. Because this is where it's going to get good. This is where everything breaks down. When I say I had an idea of who was behind all the mysterious deaths, I could have swore it was the ex-boyfriend, but then they hit us with something. Can I finally reveal the mystery?
I mean, you can't. How long has it been out? Hey, everybody. Yeah, I think you can.
Okay, he gives me
The green light, yes.
the green light. Reese is actually the killer. He has.
Spoiler alert. We could have said that. Spoiler review.
Spoiler alert. I'm sorry. That's why I waited. I waited to give people enough chance to watch it so I can actually say what
Hey
it
man.
is.
My mom's in the comments too. Hey.
Oh,
What up, Fro? Hey, Miss Stevie. Okay. Yes. As you're
so
saying.
Reese, I love the fact that we had that split personality thing going on because I thought it was the ex-boyfriend the whole time. It comes out to be Reese. I did not think it was going to be him. What was like your thought process when you were writing that part? Did you always know that you wanted to have Reese be the killer, or it just kind of happened?
Yeah, I always knew that. So, me and Orlando Love, my co-writer, my best friend, we wrote it together like in a weekend, and we had basically three different layers that we wanted to hit within the movie. First, the first layer was always looking at the fact that electronic and technology could turn on you, right? So showing the
Yes.
axis of how Chase could actually infiltrate and kill people very easily. So the second beat of the movie, you really are coming into the fact that Chase is not personified in this person. So
Mm-hmm.
it goes from basically like technology, sci-fi kind of feel to more of a serial killer scream. I know what you did last summer. So you're literally looking at a person now killing people, and
Mm.
then of course a third phase at the climax and kind of the falling action was the big reveal of something that was in your face the whole time and you're not really realizing it, which of course was Reese. So that was always kind of the plot structure.
When I got to the end, I was sitting there like, wait a minute, huh? So I actually went back to figure out where it was. And for me, it's certain things that stood out in the movie. It was a
Hmm.
point where, first of all, I want to add this. During the dates and during the times where he just had his downtime. I love the fact that you had like the different shows that he were watching. So it was always in for wait a minute, hold on, I wrote it down. Always and
Yes,
forever. And then
always
let
refer
me
with
get to
you.
that was with Fro and Tremel.
Uh huh.
And then the last one
The
when I first
commercial.
watched, yes, when I first watched it, I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, it's a little cringe worthy. But when they got to the end, I died laughing. When he got to the end, he was like, thank you, officers. Like those three things, I love those components. It like really draws you in and it gave you that movie feel.
So the proponents of that is I was inspired by the way Issa Rae does Insecure, how she does the show within the
Hmm.
show. And I
Yeah.
wanted to give a little bit more well-roundedness to Reese to show that he essentially at the core is a person that um, is like a hopeless romantic on the one side of his personality. So he's always looking at love, and it subconsciously comes
Hmm.
from the fact that he had that failed relationship with Chase, right? So it always comes from love. He's always looking at these shows, so the connections that he's trying to have with people, whether it be romantic or friendship wise, is always that strain to kind of have that intimacy or that connection with another person. And that other side of him, like literally mentally blocking him from doing that.
And see,
And
I
everything
like
that you
that.
see in the movie personifies that from his wanting to reach out, his kind of shyness and kind of unsurety, and then kind of the effort. So every time you see somebody gets close to him, it's kind of that chase interruption.
Yeah. And that somebody else said it is the attention to detail for me. I love the commercials too. It pulled you in.
Thanks, Steven.
It really pulled you in. Another thing that I like how in each class it really goes to it plays on what actually happens. We talk about misdirection. So the whole time I'm thinking it's actually the ex-boyfriend who's doing all this and it comes out to be Reese himself. So I
A
love
lot of
how
credit I want to give to Orlando Love, my co-writer, who
I think
like
Orlando's
he's been
in here.
I think he's in here. He's been binge
Yeah,
watching
he's in
How to
here.
Get Away with Murder. So a lot of that when you talk about like just shows the dynamic. We actually watched like Murder She Wrote and stuff like that. So a lot of that obvious
Hmm.
innuendo of like things in your face, like I'm literally telling you what you need to know, but you're not even really aware of it, is what the
Right, not
classroom
paying attention at
structure kind
all.
of sets up. Yeah,
And that's what I love about it. Like you really don't pay attention to it at all. And another thing I like the love scene with Lyle. Normally when
yeah.
we see like love scenes, you always have like the fit abs, like the perfect body, as those would say. We normally get that. I love that Lyle was relatable. You know, it
I
was a beautiful.
actually reached out to Rika. I know he's a really big advocate of body positivity in that way. So when I thought about that scene, I knew. So my inspiration for that came from um, School Days. Hence, like
Mm,
even with like the scoring and the soundtrack. So not necessarily just sex on screen, but more sensuality. Kind of give the theme about it. Um, so when I thought about this scene, I was like, I could have this, but like, let me see if Rico would do it. I called him up. And he's like, I have a scene in mind for you. Like, would you do this? He's like, yes. Like, you don't even know what it is, but he was just like, I'll do it.
Rico just stepped in.
Oh,
Look,
he
Rico,
just
your
joined. What
ear.
up, Rico?
Right. As soon as we said Rico, his name came in. Like, I really love
We
that
just,
component of it. And Rico, like, he came on a couple weeks ago. He has, first of all, he's very handsome. He has a very beautiful personality. He is so fun
yeah, I love
loving. So, him and Lamar, that was perfect. So, I love that scene. And it
So
was also a.
I've been saying this. I'm gonna say it on your platform. So Rick, so I would say at the end, just for clarity, at the end, Reese is very much alive. So what people saw was like the manifestation of one personality dying over another, which is I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Identity, um,
Mm-hmm.
where like basically you kind of seeing something similar from like a mind, a mystery kind of standpoint like that. But Reese is very much alive. Lyle is also alive at the end, and I kind of
He got
broke
lucky.
news. So there is a sequel coming out just for breaking news. Danita has been casted as a role. Miss Stevie is in there. Lyle is coming back. There's definitely some of the originals coming back with some new faces. Scream 2 said it best. The sequel's always bigger body count, bigger,
Yes.
bigger productions. And I promise you, I'm not going to bore you with what you think is going to happen. It's going to be just as good from a storytelling standpoint as the original. So
And that's important anytime you're talking about a sequel. But I wanted to say one thing because I don't know if it was intentional, but it was a moment when I rewatched it. I've watched this movie like 10 times, y'all. But it was something that I caught, and I'm like, wait a minute, was that there the whole time? It's a point when they were all on the FaceTime call when they found out that Trevor was killed, and they asked like, hey, was he okay when he left your house? And it was a point where Reese was looked to the side and then he turned back. I took it as like those personalities fighting and stuff. Like he found out and then he's like, so that's how I took it. Was
yes,
that
so that's
supposed to happen?
there are 2 points in the movie that weren't supposed to happen, but they worked and was able to work because of the story and the plot telling. So there are like two blooper scenes that are actually in the movie. So that was one of them. Where like literally
Oh,
Lamar had turned to me off camera, was like, is that my line? Like like he was kind of waiting. But he was speaking to me, but like you kind of saw me kind of dip in a little bit, but like you said, it plays into the story, which is kind of why I was kind of kept in editing. The other point
but
is for my like big movie heads, if you look and pay attention to when Ryan is in the bathroom and kind of initially walks in and dips down, you can see Chase peek out on the side as well. You can see him there too. Another call out, just two
oh,
more little trivia points. Another call out is in the closet when Reese goes upstairs. That mask is from my original um, well, the very first thriller I ever wrote with another production company called The Getaway, and that was like the killer
hmm.
costume that was in there. So that was like an Easter egg
Oh.
from that. And
I was
believe
wondering
it or
where the mask came from.
Yeah, it was a little like you know how like Marvel has like little small little things in there.
Yeah.
Um, that was one of those things, and the whole movie I always like promote this. You can do anything for anybody that wants to be a content creator, anybody that has a dream. You can do anything that you want to because that entire movie was shot on a phone. So there should be no kind of limitation. So that's one thing I definitely advocate for. Like if you have something that you kind of want to produce and make, you definitely can. But with the
That
sequel, everything's
is
going to be so much.
awesome.
Yeah,
Everything for everything you say, everything to be shot on the phone, and that to have that great of quality, like hats off to you. It was beautifully written,
it
beautifully
all.
edited, shot. Joe spill all the tea. Like I wouldn't have thought. Well, I knew that it was because, of course, we had this conversation. But for the movie, because I watched it last night again. It's been queued up, but I watch it every couple because it's so good. And so, for that movie to have that great of quality, for only to be shot on a phone, that speaks to you guys. You did
Oh,
a very good job. Like I absolutely love the movie. So going into sequel two, are we
yes.
still having it in the same setting, or is it going to be somewhere totally different?
So it's not going to take any. Um, it's going to stay true to the original from a look
Okay,
and
good.
feel. You won't walk in and feel like this is a completely detached movie. I'm big about continuity, but you are going to get something original. Um, I'm not going to bore you
Yay!
for sure. So stay
Awesome.
tuned.
Yay, yay. Thank you so
And
much
yeah,
for coming in, Alex.
I appreciate you for having. Thank you for doing the review. I want to thank everybody who's watched it. Thank you for the support. If you haven't watched it, it's available. The link is in my bio on Vimeo. And if you
And
have on
mine too.
Amazon Prime, yes, definitely check it out on Amazon Prime if you have that. I just definitely appreciate the support. Just like leave a comment, I won't say subscribe, but and, let me know what you think. And there
And
is
make
definitely
sure we
follow up to
tell friends.
yes. And with
And
little
with
to
little
no
to no
budget. Come on,
budget.
somebody. Right.
Don't,
That's what we say. No budget.
let me tell you. So y'all know I am very big on like quality and things like that. Y'all have heard me talk plenty of times about how I feel that Tyler Perry has gotten lazy with his content a little bit because of the lack of attention to details. That does not mean I don't support and love my Tyler, because I do. I support and watch all of them. But for you to get that quality on a phone with no budget, it speaks volumes because we have big budgets and poor quality. So thumbs up, hats off to you guys. Another one, I don't know if
Also,
I mentioned it.
I want to thank all of my cast that came in. We shot this in a very short amount of time, and it's really just speaks to the professionalism and the readiness of my cast. Like everybody came in to kind of want to make this work. I know what people say all the time, like, "Oh, you had an all-star cast and this that, whatever." Like nobody came in with an ego. We literally all came in and kind of just made magic work. So I just definitely want to take a hats off to everyone that was involved, from Lamar, Carl, Vigoros,
Rah
Rara,
rah.
everybody.
Money.
My
Your brothers and sisters.
I mean, yeah, they
Look,
I love
look.
that was a big part of it. Like every project that I have, even like my best friend being into being Professor
Owens.
Professor Owen, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
Professor
Lee.
Owens.
Even him being involved, like I like to have projects where we can all look back and kind of like say, look what we kind of all did together. So I think that was it was very important piece for me as well.
It came out to be a really, really good project. First of all, I want to thank you for gifting me the exclusive for my birthday.
Yes.
I wanted, I knew I was going to drop spoilers, so I'm like, okay, I want to give it people time to watch it. Um, Before I give away spoilers, you better acknowledge the offspring. Okay,
That's my
let's see.
mom.
Did I look? I figured. let's see. I wanted to make sure I got everybody. Now, it was a point. Zeke, did he ad lib his entire line?
There were some there were some lines. So Zeke Carl, I always say he's the only one that like ad libs kept in. That's not necessarily true because Vic Rose said like Bob Professor Keaty to Professor Owens, but like Zeke, there are lines like I think when the class first started, he's laughing, and then when the like Professor Owens class ends, he was like, "You get on my motherfucking nerves. You always got to be the nice bitch. I'm about to go give me some." That's all Carl.
Yes,
That
that's
was
Carl.
not
That's him.
intentional.
When I first saw it, I fell out laughing. I'm like, oh my god, this couldn't have been written. This had to be him. So
But
that
I mean,
that's
each one of them brought life to their character. Like even down to like the character with no line, like Lyle. Even all of them brought life and brought that character to screen. So I just really appreciative of that.
oh, and well, before I leave, is two things I want to touch on. I want to touch
But
on such an amazing job that I did playing Chase and that Lamar did with his scenes with Chase because he was basically talking to himself, from what I understand. So those two, since they were both like the main component, and for Lamar to be able to be in a room and acting with himself and it comes out so beautifully like it did, that speaks to the actor he is. And I love, 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 love Ike as Chase. I would have, knowing Ike, talking to Ike, listening to him sing and talk,
let me
I did not pick up on that.
let me tell you.
I would have
So
known.
film with Lamar, it was just really it was me, Lamar, Kevon, the other cinematographer, and Jarvis, whose house we were at, like the set designer. So it was just us three. So a lot of times, like Lamar would just be asking questions, like, "Am I doing this right?" I'm like, "Yeah, like this is fine. This is what I need from you." So he again like wanted was pure example of just wanting to get the project right and wanting like kind of the best for it. So he was always kind of making sure that what he was giving was going to like relate true. So I definitely appreciate that about him. And to Ike, like Ike didn't see any of the movie. Like Ike didn't see or talk to anybody. Like
Really?
literally, he came in after everything was shot, and me and him sat down at the table. I was like, "Well, these are the lines I just need from you." He just recorded it in one sitting. So when he saw the movie, he had no idea how all of that was incorporated into it. It came
Oh my
in after. So he did
God.
all his stuff in post.
That is, it's an amazing job. I just wanted to, especially, I had that down to touch on those 2 points. But hats off to you, hats off to Orlando for a great project. I cannot wait to the sequel. That'll be my debut
Yes.
as an actress. So this is my
Can't wait.
official review. Please make sure now go watch it. If you watched it already, watch it again, tell a friend, and then watch it with them. Please make sure we are supporting our black people, our own. Let's make sure we push this, and support. So thank you for coming on, Alex.
Thank you, and I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone
Oh
was able
yeah,
to eat and relax this weekend and enjoy each other. Stay safe, and thank you for the
that's what
review.
it's all about. No, thank you so much. Love you.
I love you too.
Okay, so again, I'm going to post this, but actually, when I upload it to my YouTube page, I will have actual clips from the movie in there. So it can give you a little bit of teasers and give you a little bit more content. So please make sure I have the link. The link is like all over my page, but I will make sure the link is in here, and it's also on Amazon Prime. Just type in The Assistant, and it will pull up. This is a great body of work. I recommend it to everybody. Every single thing, from the attention to detail to the actors to the producers. It is awesome. And you cannot just watch it once anyway. You're going to have to watch it twice or 3 times to pick up on the little cues that you didn't see before. So, thank you guys for watching.